Hey, this is Rick from Cult Creators, and today I'm going to show you the cult creator model for helping coaches and creators turn your community into a customer cult that pays you every day to change lives at scale by turning lurkers into lifetime members using tribal psychology. Because if you run a community, then you know it's really hard to attract customers, let alone keep customers. So then you have to spend most of your time marketing on the front end to replace those customers rather than in the background in your community, doing what you love and hang out with your favorite people, right? So after years of building cult-like communities, then we found you can't make someone want to buy, but you can make someone want to belong. That's what we're going to show you today. Okay, first let's talk about what a customer cult really is. So this is Funk Roberts, at least part of his face, holding up a dispute letter from his merchant account. So he had a community, he had tons of people joining his community, he had a great product, he knew what he was doing, he has 500,000 YouTube subscribers at the time. He had a big email list. He knew how to create good programs that got results, but he clearly didn't know how to build a community that people actually wanted to pay and stay because he was getting tons of these dispute letters, which were people charging back on their credit card because they didn't want to pay for it. He was getting tons of these, tons of refund requests, cancellations. He had a leaky bucket. He was losing so many more customers than he was gaining, to the point where he was worried that the merchant account was going to shut him down and he couldn't take any money. So he decided to close it and refund everybody. And that's when we got together to rebuild his community into the Over 40 Alpha Brotherhood, which 18 months later, it did $1.2 million between February and the next August. But more than just money, which is great, the impact, the fulfillment, the imposter syndrome he no longer has because people were actually drinking the Kool-Aid. They were engaging. They were posting every day. They were posting the results organically. They're meeting up offline, making real friendships, really drinking the Kool-Aid here to the point where Bruce went from brand new to branded in only 4 months and got this tattoo across his entire arm. So this is Funk and Bruce meeting up in Australia together. So that's an example of somebody who has a common community versus now a customer cult. Or Russell, we spent a week building his martial arts, his self-defense program into what we call a customer cult. And you can see people drinking the Kool-Aid. They call themselves the Brothers of the Red Fist based on the brand. And, we didn't touch it in 3 years and people were still paying. You can see payment number 43 just coming in because people felt like they belonged to this tribe, right? This cult. Or Jay Frugia, you can see he's got MRR of 9,500. Churn's a little high because we just kicked out a lot of members who bought a 6-month bundle. So a lot of them are coming back now. But if you look at the metrics, 100% were active in the last 30 days. So that's the power of a customer cult. So let's get into the model. Okay, so there's 3 outcomes of a customer cult. We have attraction because we need sales. We need people to buy. We have engagement because we need them to engage in the content and community long enough so they actually get results, become happy customers, and want to buy more and stick around. And we need retention because we want them to continue paying. We need that recurring revenue because you don't want to spend all your time replacing churned customers. You want to spend time inside your community and grow it from the inside out, right? So all of these things are really hard. That's why the coaching and community specific business model is tough, because attraction, engagement, retention, these are all fighting against the subconscious mind inside your customer, because people don't want to buy from another guru on the internet. They don't want to join another community that they might not actually get any benefit from, or like most people are lurkers, right? So they're not likely to want to buy or join another community. They're not likely to want to engage in a community full of strangers they've never met out of fear of rejection. They don't want to continue buying. Like, people hate subscriptions because they're oversubscribed, they're overwhelmed, and people just want to, like, the subconscious mind is designed to protect them against all of these things, because the subconscious is wired for comfort, not change. And you're in the business of changing people so they can get the result they signed up for. So we need to get them out of their own way by working with the subconscious and get them to drink the Kool-Aid so they actually want to buy and buy in and engage long enough so they pay and stay for life. Here's our 3-step tribe method for accomplishing these things and seducing the subconscious security guard so they buy and buy in. So step 1 of the tribe method is you need invite systems, because that's how you get someone to buy in to the offer so they actually want to pay you. right? And then we need indoctrination systems because we need to teach them how to behave and belong so they actually want to engage, so they take action and get results. And then we have intensify the collective in the community, intensify their chemical connection to each other so that they have so much value from the community that they can't get anywhere else. So it doesn't even matter what you're selling or what the product is. They want to stay inherently for the community. That's the whole point, right? And this is how we get someone to drink the Kool-Aid and to buy in so they pay and stay for life. Because we don't want customers who just buy once and then bail. We want customers who buy and buy in and continue to pay and stay for life. So let's get into the actual breakdown of the invite, indoctrinate, and intensify systems. So here's the cult creator model. Here's how cult creators can build a community that can seduce the subconscious security guard and get them to buy and buy in. So step one, it starts with the invite systems, right? So you can't build a strong community with the wrong customers. And a lot of people just a lot of us creators want to create something without knowing if it's going to sell. So they build something and then try to find whoever's going to buy it and then throw them all in a community and hope they like each other enough to pay and stay engaged, etc. But it doesn't work like that because there's so many communities, and we know if we're trying to sell to everyone, then we end up selling to nobody, right? So that's where we need to attract one certain type of customer who is the most likely to buy from you and the most likely to engage in your community. So that's where we look at the overlap between who you are and who they are so that we have subconscious resonance and attraction. So this is really the fundamentals of the invite system, is attracting the right customer who's most likely to buy. So the invite system is really your attraction, really your marketing, and marketing is really hard, right? So if we look at the three components of a customer cult in the invite systems, then step one is your tribe offer. Most people have ordinary offers that get ignored because there's so many offers out there, so many people selling the same things, and people just don't care if it's similar to everyone else, right? So that's why you need a tribe offer that speaks to the subconscious. So they say, it just spoke to me. They naturally want to buy in and they want to buy from you. That's the benefit of a tribe offer, speaking to the right customer and getting them to buy in so that they actually buy. And then we have an offer doc. So your tribe offer stacks into an offer doc to do the selling for you because people hate to be sold, but they love to buy and they need what you're selling. So that's where we create an offer doc, just a simple, low friction, no tech type of offer doc where you can just invite. We don't sell, we just invite. Invite them to join the party, and the offer doc does the selling for us. Happy days. And then the third component is propaganda. So this is how we find our tribe, find the right people who are most likely to buy from us. It's the message we put out there. It's the content we put out there. So we say the right thing so that all we have to do is invite them to join the party. So cult creators, we don't build a community around a product. We build a community around a collective. That way, you're more likely to attract the right customers who actually do want to buy and do want to buy in and stick around, engage, get results, et cetera, right? So that's the invite systems to attract the right customers. Now we need indoctrination systems for engagement and results and to get them out of their own way, because we know that customers aren't wired for change and for growth and to adopt new habits, right? They're wired for comfort and to stay the same. So we need to seduce the subconscious in order to buy in to the community and the content so they get results, right? So the first step of indoctrination is a manifesto. The manifesto is how you tell them, this is who we are, and this is what we do, this is what we believe. We're trying to rewire their mindset to say, in this collective, in this new ecosystem, this is who we are, and these are the beliefs and behaviors, so they understand how to belong. Because if they don't feel like they belong, then they won't actually engage, and they won't take the actions because it's not consistent with their identity, right? So the manifesto is a way to change their beliefs, which governs behaviors, which creates results. And then we get into rules and rituals. So the manifesto teaches them how to belong to the community. Rules and rituals teaches them how to behave to actually get the result they signed up for. So what do we do over and over again so that we get them closer to the result? Not only do we get them close to the result that they signed up for, so they become happy customers and they want to give you testimonials and referrals and stay for life, but the rules and rituals also create meaning and purpose, and it creates a sense of belonging because we're all doing the same things together. So that really helps them drink the Kool-Aid, and these rituals become engagement in the group, so it practically runs itself. And then a reward system. Now they know who we are and what we do. They have the beliefs and the behaviors to behave and belong. The reward systems are designed to continue moving them forward because people suck at continuing to do what's good for them. Again, because the subconscious is always trying to get in the way and sabotage their progress. So we need to motivate them to pull them along the journey and get them closer and closer to the destination. So the Indoc systems are really designed to help people get out of their own way so they actually take action and get results, because we know that motivation fades. People suck at doing what's good for them. The mind is wired for comfort, so it's always going to try to sabotage them and pull them back. And self-motivation is not enough, right? Good products, good content, good coaching is not enough because people suck at following through. So therefore, we can't rely on self-motivation to move them along. We need to create group motivation and pressure to conform. So that's where these indoctrination systems help make them feel like they're a part of the collective, so that they have to keep doing the work like everybody else and posting and engaging and moving forward so that they are one of us, right? So they feel like they fit in, so they conform, because that's how humans are wired, to belong, to fit in, and to conform. We just need to show them how, right? So that's indoctrination. That's how we get results. And then the third component of the cult creator model is Intensify. So this is retention. We talked marketing, we talked product. This is on the community. So we need to increase the chemical connection they feel to each other, they feel to you, they feel to the brand, right? If they feel a deep sense of belonging to this thing, then they're not going to cancel. And the more people who cancel, the more time you have to spend marketing to replace the natural churn. And we don't want to spend our time marketing. We want to spend our time in the community, hanging out with our favorite people and doing what we love. So that's why we need to intensify their chemical connection to the collective. And we do that in 3 steps. Number 1, similarity systems. The more similarity you can make them feel between each other, between you and them, the more similar everyone is, the more of that tribal belonging they will feel, and the more they feel encouraged to conform, to keep posting, and to keep following through, and to keep coming back. So similarity equals retention, ultimately, because the tribe method is all based on tribal belonging, and it fundamentally comes down to similarity. We are built for tribes, so we are wired to find and belong to groups of people similar to ourselves. So you just crank up that similarity and you crank up that chemical connection to the tribe, right? So next is significance systems. Significance is something that we rely on. It gives us hope. It gives us motivation. It keeps us moving forward. But most people don't feel significance at all in their lives. Like, no matter how hard you work in your job, then these people just they don't usually get recognized for their efforts. They don't usually get recognized for their efforts at home with their wife or husband, with the kids, etc. Significance is missing in people's lives, but it's a fundamental core human existential need. And so if we can spotlight these people and show off their progress, reward their progress, essentially, then if we can put them on blast, now they are a public figure in the group. And the more they are celebrated and seen in the group, the more likely they are to stick around, because now they have something to lose. So if we can make them feel significant, then we satisfy a core human need that they can't get anywhere else. And so that's good for retention. That's good for tribal belonging. And that leads us to step 3, status. Humans, although we are not wired for change, we are wired for growth. We are growth-oriented people. And so if you give them more ranks to climb, then they are naturally inclined to want to achieve that, because a status increase is a reputation increase. And if we can give them new hierarchy to achieve, we can give them new status, new title, new identities, it makes them feel a sense of superiority in the group compared to the other members, especially compared to newer members. And so if we give them status and rank and hierarchy, now they have something to lose outside of product or community. So they have more reason not to cancel, because they don't want to just lose product community. They don't want to lose their status. And status is huge for reputation, huge for the pride they feel in themselves. So if you give them ranks to climb, you give them status updates and upgrades, the more likely they are to not cancel. We know that you need to invite the right type of person, because similarity really starts by getting the right person through the door. So that's why we start with attracting the right customer who is the most likely to buy from you, because they are similar to you. And then we indoctrinate them into the community, into the product, into the community, to show them this is who we are together, this is where we're going, and this is how we get there. So they have the beliefs and the behaviors wired in their subconscious. So now the subconscious is on your side rather than fighting against it. And then we intensify that group connection, that similarity, so that they feel like this is a place they belong, right? If we can make them feel a deep sense of belonging, then it doesn't matter what the product is. It's the connection to the community that they really value, because belonging, tribal belonging, is a core existential human need. And so if we can satisfy that in the community, then it doesn't matter if they're even engaging in the content or in the community. They just feel like they want to keep paying to maintain that membership to the tribe, right? And then everything else you want to sell now or in the future, or affiliate or white label your own products, like whatever you want to sell, it just makes sense for them to buy because it's for people like us. So that's why we say it doesn't matter what you sell or how much you sell it for. If you can make people feel a sense of tribal belonging, then they're going to buy and they're going to stick around, get results, pay and stay, tell their friends. And the referrals and the testimonials, all these things help you attract more of the right customers on the front end. Because if they see people winning that look like you, that look like themselves, then they'll be able to believe in themselves to achieve that result too, and they'll buy in to the product, buy into the content, buy into the community, and then get results, pay, and stay for life. So if you want to build a customer cult, it starts with customers, right? You can't build a customer cult without customers, and you can't get buy-in if you can't get people to buy, right? People don't buy unless they're bought in. So this whole thing is about getting people to buy into your offer, to your product, and your community. But most people don't take the time to define what that buy-in really means. And for us, we can best explain this as the shared mission, right? People don't want to buy products. People don't want to join just another community. People want to buy into a mission, right? They want to go on a journey, on an adventure. They don't want to just achieve something. They want it to mean something, right? That's how you really get the emotional capacity that pulls out their credit card, because people don't buy on logic. They buy on emotion. So what are you really trying to get them to buy into? So it's that shared mission. That's our tribe invite map, is really how we define the 6 components that get them bought in, right? So our 6-part framework is really this same framework, just more detailed and nuanced as to who are we, where are we going, how do we get there? And that creates the shared mission that they're really buying into. And that tribe invite map is essentially how you either create or fix your offer so that it has buy-in, so that people actually want to buy and engage, right? So that's how you create your offer. And then these pieces, these 6 pieces, stack linearly to create your offer doc. So then it's just copy blocks, copy and paste into the offer doc so that it can do the selling for you. So those who you invite to join you, you just have to send them this doc, and that's what does the selling for you. You just have to simply invite them to join the party, and this does the work for you. So these 6 pieces become your offer doc, and it shows you what to say in your marketing and your propaganda to attract the right people so you can invite them in to join the party. Not only that, once you have what they're buying into, then you know how to indoctrinate them into what are we doing here? Where are we going? What are we buying into? And then you know how to intensify that, because you know, who are we? Where are we going? What are we buying into? How do we increase that similarity? How do we increase that status? All of it comes down to the shared mission of what are we doing here, right? So you can't get buy-in if you don't have that shared mission. You can't get people to buy if they're not bought in. So it all starts with the tribe invite map and the tribe invite systems, right? So if you want access to our tribe invite map, then just click the button below and you can steal our framework, and you can either fix or create a new offer for your existing community or another one you want to create. You can use this anytime you want to create a new community or a new product that you just want people to say, it just spoke to me. So if you want to steal that framework, and we'll show you the 6 steps and how to fill it in for yourself, then just click the link below, fill in your details, and we'll get you instant access to that tool that we use for ourselves to create this model, and for every other client that we use to turn their common community into a customer cult. Just smash that link below, steal our framework, and start building your cults. All right, see you on the other side.